Hey cats, what's happening? It's your old buddy, your old riding pal, Itchymoche, back at you again with another video. This one goes out to one of my subscribers. Grateful for his comments and his help with coming up with some ideas. His question today is, why do you ride? And thanks, Hogtied, for that one. I think I'll start it out by saying, or answering the question, why do I ride? And then I'll throw it out there to you to throw it into comments, whatever you want, why you ride. I always appreciate, hearing from you guys too. Why do I ride? I think it started when I was a kid. I don't know, it was something that was born into me. When I was very young, I always wanted to be on two wheels. I don't remember how old I was when I got my first bicycle, but I tried to trick it out the best I could, customize it. And of course, my dad didn't have a shop or anything. He didn't have a welder or anything. All he had was a screwdriver and a crescent wrench, so maybe a pair of vice grips. So anything I could do, to modify my bicycle, I did. And then as I rode out, we lived in a rural area, so we rode on the country roads out on the street. And Mom always said, just watch out for the cars, and we did. And I always fantasized that I was riding my bicycle, that I had, hundreds of riders behind me, that I was a leader of the pack, a leader of a big gang. And little did I know one day that would actually become a reality. It was something I was very grateful for, but we took a ride from Cleveland down to Columbus, Ohio, a couple hundred miles probably. And I think we had over 3,000 motorcycles that day. And I was not the road captain, but I rode right next to the road captain at the very head of the pack, the first two motorcycles, with just a stream of motorcycles as far as you could see behind us going down the highway. That was really cool. So I guess I met one of my goals that day, even though I wasn't the leader. Officially, I was in the front of that pack and my fantasy came true. Why do I ride? I love it. That's the whole thing. Being in the wind, the freedom, getting out there and just honking through the gears, hearing the sound of the engine, feeling that wind in your face, sensing nature all around, feeling the weather, smelling the smells, the hay in the field, the cows in the pasture, the apple pie coming from somebody's window. Those are things you don't realize when you're in a vehicle. You just don't get that gift. And when you're on a motorcycle, you feel it. Of course, you also feel the bugs and the sting of rain, the gravel pelting you from the truck in front of you. Yeah, there's ugly that comes with the good too, but it's just that sensation of freedom, of almost like flight. And then there's a thing of pride too. When you're on your motorcycle, something you put a lot of hard work into, something you've worked on for a while, you take pride in it, and it feels good to be out there just on that machine and just to know that you trust it and that it's underneath you and it's going to take you where you want it to go. And then when you pull into that destination point, people turn heads when they see motorcycles, and it's a good feeling. It's a good feeling to know. And it attracts people too. I've had so many people come up to me and just, want to look at the bike and just want to talk and start talking. The funniest one is when I was out west. I think I was in Yellowstone, at the Grand Canyon of Yellowstone. And I was all by myself, and I rode out there. And I had an Asian family come up to me, and they said, "Oh, you American biker, can we take a picture of you?" And the whole family crowded around me while one of them took pictures, and I had to do all these different poses with them, and it was pretty funny. There was a time when I rode for a cause. I was a full-patched member of Rolling Thunder. I wanted to show you, this is my vest that I wore when I was in Rolling Thunder. And of course, I've had my my rocker up here. I don't know if you can see, it's been stripped off, and also the eagle patch here. You can still see some of the glue on there. if you were in membership, you had to follow pretty strict rules, or you'd lose your membership. So that being said, I went through a rough time in my life, and I was going through a divorce. Things were pretty rough. It wasn't pretty. I went through some real rough times. I ended up getting in trouble. I had some really bad alcohol problems and drugs and just a bad attitude. I failed to follow, I guess, their protocol. And when you don't attend the meetings, when you don't partake in the functions, you're no longer worthy of wearing the colors. So they ask you to remove them and return them. So I was kind of forced to do that. And it's a whole long story I won't get into. It wasn't so much that as it was just some personality conflicts. So that was all worked out though in the end, and they asked me to come back numerous times, but my lifestyle had just changed after that, and I no longer did that. But when I was in Rolling Thunder, I rode for the cause to support veterans, to support POWs, MIA, in any way that we could. We rode for a good cause. We raised funds for them. We had chili cook-offs. We rode in parades. We went to Washington, D.C. It was a pretty cool thing we did, and we really did a lot for the veterans. And that really, you know, gave you a good reason to ride. So, you know, that was an influential part of my why do I ride? And why do I ride now? It goes back to the very beginning, not just because I like it, because I really enjoy it, because it takes away all my stress, and it just makes me feel so happy, so good. I mean, everything goes away. All your concentration's on the bike, just watching where you're going, watching out for the other people, listening to the motor, just paying attention to your wheels where you're at, and just, you know, hammering down the road, arching through the turns, and it's just a whole different experience. It's like they used to say, if I had to explain, you wouldn't understand. And I guess that's what it boils down to, isn't it? So I'm sure your reasons that you ride are similar. Maybe you got something different. I don't know. Let me know, because I'd like to hear, and I'm sure other people would like to hear too. Why do you ride? Until next time, ride hard and die free.